Major breaking news out of the United States Supreme Court, and I don't think it's good news. Specifically, on Friday late afternoon, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a miscellaneous order list. A miscellaneous order list which granted cert in 5 cases. Granted cert in 5 cases, none of which touched fingers with the Second Amendment, and none of which are Snope versus Maryland, which is Snope versus Brown, and none of which are Ocean State Tactical versus Rhode Island. So that means we remain in a holding pattern. I would say if you're a betting person, and I don't want you to get depressed yet, the game is not over, but if you're a betting person, the odds of us getting a cert grant for this term of 2024-2025 in either Snope versus Brown or Ocean State Tactical versus Rhode Island has materially been reduced. I think the odds of a grant are substantially reduced. It doesn't mean it's game over. There is one additional conference that I had previously noted. I said that the key will be, again, the 24th, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. Those are the 3 conferences we must win at to get Snope and or Ocean State Tactical granted cert. We have seen these cases relisted once. It is quite possible to see them relisted twice. Bruin was relisted multiple times. Dobbs was relisted many times, over a dozen times, I believe. So our last chance, as I see it, this term of getting these cases granted cert for this term is going to be 1 week from today, January 24th. But I would say, statistically speaking, the odds of our grant are starting to shrink. We are not dead in the water yet. There's a lot of other possibilities. There could be a summary disposition in our favor. I think that's unlikely, but possible. There could be a decision by this court that they want to push these cases into next term because they want to take additional time to get them right, and they don't want to rush the cases between now and the end of June. That's also a possibility. It's a lot of things that can be going on here. But I would say if you're a betting person, although there's no official guarantee here, we don't know for sure what the Supreme Court is going to do or what they will be doing now or next term. Certainly, it is not a good look. It is not a good indication in favor of the Second Amendment, the fact that they granted cert in 5 cases late in the day today, Friday, and none of those cases touches fingers with the Second Amendment. So we could be looking at a situation where the Supreme Court is going to deny cert in one or both of Snope and Ocean State Tactical, and someone could be taking the time to write a dissent, which has happened before. Justice Thomas or Justice Alito, even Justice Gorsuch, maybe even Justice Kavanaugh could be writing a dissent saying we should be hearing these cases dealing with commonly owned semi-automatic firearms, semi-automatic rifles. But again, at this point, it's really speculation on my part. But I will say, statistically speaking, and just looking at the gestalt of the situation that we're now in, I would say this is not good news. It's not catastrophic news. We're not entirely dead. But I would say that the fact that they granted cert in 5 cases on Friday afternoon, none of which touch fingers with the Second Amendment, is on balance bad news. So I hate to break this news to you on the eve of a weekend, on the eve of the Gundys, and on the eve for many of you out there going to SHOT Show in Las Vegas next week. But you don't turn into this channel for rainbows and unicorns and shall not be infringed. I try to speak and tell you the way I see it in the real world. And in the real world, I'm not super happy, but again, I'm not going to get totally depressed just yet. There are other things that can happen here and a lot of good stuff going on in the Second Amendment community, generally speaking, regardless of what happens with these cases. But we really do want the Supreme Court to take Snope and or Ocean State Tactical and resolve these commonly owned firearm bans, bans of commonly owned weapons, commonly owned arms as soon as possible, because that is a no-brainer and should be a very easy layup for this court if they have the fortitude, the backbone to do the right thing. And that I cannot speak to. So we will see what happens, folks. But that's the news here from the Four Boxes Diner. Make sure you subscribe to both this channel on YouTube and on Rumble. Don't forget to follow me on X, where I break news even faster than I can on a video. And I look forward to talking to all of you again very, very soon here at the Four Boxes Diner.
Orders up. Table 2A.